Well, hey bosses, and back to another of our weekly AMA sessions that's Ask Me Anything, where we break down your social media marketing questions and I answer them in real time. Now, if you're joining me live, I would love for you to drop your comments and your questions down below. I'm going to get as many answers as possible while we're on air for the next 20 minutes or so. And we are going to be taking a look at some questions that were written in advance as well, because I know some people wait all week long for me to answer these questions for them. So we're going to be breaking down your questions. But if you've got some and you're joining me live, go ahead and drop those down below. If you happen to be on my replay, I will be taking note of these questions and saving them for either next week's live AMA. If I don't get them to, if you're on the replay and I don't get to them while we're live, if you happen to be here live, I will save those for next week, or I will do a specific video on that for you. So I would love to get those answered for you today. Let's jump into the first question that was written in this week. And Strong Mom was commenting on one of our videos. This week, I actually dropped a video all about how to organize your hashtags for Instagram so that you don't get marked as a bot and then potentially banned from Instagram. So she says, a great video. I need to use the related search, but it doesn't come up. Maybe I need to update my app. So I said, as we were going through that video, when you are working on hashtags for Instagram, if you start to type in a hashtag, it's actually going to give you some related hashtags. But, and I answer this in the comment right here, not all of these hashtags actually do have the related ones. Only the bigger, more widely used ones have the related hashtags. And that is because the algorithm is looking for a direct correlation. So when they see over and over and over and over and over again that lots and lots and lots of people are using this hashtag and this hashtag, they typically relate them. So it does take a lot of data for them to actually say, yes, this is a related hashtag. We see it come up so many times. We know that it's connected in some way. So you're not going to find them on smaller or lesser used hashtags, or if they're newer hashtags. It does take a little bit of time to get that developed within the algorithm system. So if you're not finding them on yours, maybe you are using very niche down hashtags, and you actually should expand a little bit if you want a broader audience. Of course, this is also something that comes up if you're a local-based business versus an online business. So online business, you're going to be using a little bit more broad hashtags. For a local-based business, you might be using those local-based hashtags, those location tags, and it might be a little harder. Or maybe it's easier. It really just depends on how many people are using the tags and what they are using in relation to that. So a great almost question, but I did use this as a question because I think it's really important to discuss how not every hashtag is going to have those related hashtags as well within their search. Melanie is here. Good afternoon, Mel. I'm glad to see you. Thanks for always joining. It's always good to see you. We are feeling the love today from all the fabulous people. Bill jumped onto our YouTube channel and said, great stuff. Thank you for this information. It's really helpful. Bill, I'm excited that you're here hanging out with us. Shout out to you. Thanks so much for hanging out. And I'm really glad that it was actually helpful to you. Now, if you're joining me live and you've got a question, I would love to get those answered. I hang out for about 20 minutes every single Wednesday right here on Facebook.com/KMRobinson social, and I would love to get your questions answered. So if you have questions on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, IGTV, your newsletter, your blog, your website, anything related to marketing online, I am here to support you and help you create a profitable brand through smart social media marketing. So go ahead, drop your questions. I will get as many answered as possible while we are here hanging out today. We did have some written in this week that I wanted to chat about. So Lisa joined us over on YouTube. She said, great tips. I had a list of 7 tags that I hadn't changed in 3 months, though I was rotating. I hope Instagram didn't think that I was a bot. Definitely going to switch it up now. Now, Lisa's comment is in relation to the video we dropped just yesterday, where we talked all about how you can be handling your hashtags for Instagram in a way that makes sure you don't look like a bot by creating lists, keeping them on your phone, and then rotating through them, but not just rotating through them, deleting some, adding some, changing them up. So they're always that base group of hashtags. You always have the hashtags that are going to be the most valuable to you, but you're mixing them up so that it looks like you are individually typing these in, even though we're copy and pasting. And it's just really fast ways to make sure that we stay on top of those algorithms and make the algorithm gods really happy with us. So Lisa had said she had those lists of 7 tags. So she had 7 different groups of hashtags. Good for you, Lisa. That is amazing. I usually recommend 5 to 7. If you can do more, please do more. But 5 to 7 is a good place to start for your hashtag list. And I usually recommend you switch those up every 2 or 3 months. Now, Lisa had her list, but she hasn't been really changing them up. And you know what, Lisa? As long as you are deleting 1 or 2, adding 1 or 2, kind of changing them as you go, you don't necessarily have to take the time to redo your list every week or something like that. But every time you post, if you post that list, just take one of them out, a different one each time, or add one in, or swap a couple out. Just change them up a little bit, and that will keep the algorithms happy because it's a brand new, fresh list, and it doesn't look like you're just using a bot to copy and paste and put in all of your captions. So the more you can mix those up, the better. I wouldn't be too worried if you haven't like completely switched them up, as long as you're rotating through in a unique way. So if it's list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then they might have an issue. But if you go list 1, 2, 3, and then you start switching, you go 7, 4, and 2, 1, 3, 5, you kind of mix them up. That's good too. But the more you can tweak them with deleting and adding as you're going with the mixed up rotated list, the better off you are going to be, and the happier you are going to make the Instagram algorithms. We love Instagram algorithms around here because if you do them right, they actually kick your content out more to more people in a more organic way, and you don't have to pay for ads as much. It's an amazing thing. So as you're setting these algorithms, keep in mind you should be rotating your hashtags. And Anna's in the comments saying, great video. I love the tips about testing out the hashtags, removing and adding them to see what really works. Well, Anna, I am glad that you have tested this out. It's working for you, and that you are going to be implementing this into your strategy in the future, because this is a great way to make the algorithms happy. We all know it comes down to the algorithms liking us and deciding our content is valuable and that people like our content, or deciding we're not valuable. So we want to make sure we're staying on top of those algorithms. And you guys know I love breaking the news on algorithm changes anytime it comes up for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. All those great social media platforms have these algorithms. They're constantly changing, learning, growing, and expanding on what they're doing. And because I'm dialed into the social media platforms, I get to tell you guys pretty much before anybody else when these changes occur, so that you can implement it into your marketing strategy as well. So if you've got questions, if you've got comments, I would love to get those answered for you. Go ahead and jump down into those comments and let me know, what are you struggling with right now when it comes to your social media? And Melanie wrote in this week. She had a great question. She says, what is branding and how do you choose it? Okay, Mel, let's take a step back. Branding is really, really important to your business. And it's the way that people are identifying you. How can someone look at your website, the content you're creating, what you're putting out in the world, your social media presence, you? What are they seeing to connect with your brand, with your business? How are they identifying you? So branding comes down to a lot of different things. It's the colors that you choose. It's the logo that you pick. It's the way you design your website. It's the way you write your captions. And I've heard my mentors say, I love this, branding is what people say about you when you leave the room. It's how people refer you to other people. So if someone was saying, oh, I was hanging out with KM Robinson today, and they said, oh, well, who is this? What does she do? This is where people are going to explain my branding, how I behave, how I interact, what I look like, not what I look like, but like what my business looks like. So branding is not necessarily your logo, but your logo is a part of it. Branding is not necessarily your colors, but your colors are a part of it. It's how you're presenting yourself to the world. So branding needs to be very, very specific within what you are doing as your business, because it's how people are identifying you. Let's just take a step back here. People always, always, always know my images on Instagram. They always know my content on Facebook. They don't have to see my name to know it's related to me, because I have a very specific, very defined look. In fact, if you go over to my Instagram pages, you're going to see very specific things, and you on site know exactly who those images belong to, especially with my author profile, because you typically see these white-based colors. I've got my bookshelves behind me that I use. I've got books in the picture. I've got greenery, and I've got whitish backgrounds. I've got those nice, light, airy images. Now, I know Mel is an author, so I'm using my author example. But when you scroll through Instagram without even seeing my name on my author platform, you automatically know which pictures belong to me and which belong to someone else because I have a very specific look to the branding of my images. And so you do need to sit down within your business and figure out what is going to represent you. What are people going to say about you? How are people going to see you online and identify you by what you are putting out there? And it comes down to the words that you're saying, the greetings that you're doing. Even with my videos, I have a very specific branding for my videos. The look is all the same. We've got similar colors. We've got similar looks over here. We've got, with my social media, if you look up at the corner here, I've got those bright colors with the white popping letters. Sometimes they're angled, sometimes they're not. You can always kind of tell, oh, that's related to her. Those are the colors that she uses. These are the types of things that she does. So when you see me out online, you can easily identify me. So for Melanie, as an author, you have to be very careful about picking your branding because it should represent your book. So what type of books do you do? Are you a darker author? Or are you a light and fluffy author? A contemporary author who writes fluffy stories is going to be a lot different in the branding than maybe a paranormal romance or a dystopian writer. There are specific colors that go with the different genres, and you need to be implementing that into your logos, into your website, into your social media, into your pictures, into your videos. With me, I've got specific intros and wrap-ups to my videos. I have specific ways of addressing people. I always call you guys bosses. I address you as bosses. Hey, bosses. What's up, bosses? In the book world, I talk about book lovers. Hey, book lovers. Hey, book fans. I always get that branding in there so people can easily identify me by it. And Mel, you need to work that into your branding as well. So if you're maybe a darker author, you want to think of more along the lines of like dark colors, those bright pops of light, maybe some fiery elements. If you are a fluffy writer, you want to think more along the lines of pinks and lights and brights. If you're a candle maker who is maybe more of a country candle maker, you've got like the cute little country look, your colors, your branding, your wording, your captions are going to be very, very different than people who create modern candles. That's going to be more along the lines of white with black lettering or black with white lettering. It's going to be very different fonts that they choose. So country is going to be a little softer, a little loopier, a little rounder, while a modern candle creator is going to use more of a harsher lettering. It's going to be thinner. It's going to be more compact. The letters are going to be spaced out differently than the country author or the country candle maker is. And just everything about it is going to be very, very different. So if I held up my sister and my best friend make candles. They're very, very different in their branding. If I held up one candle versus the other candle, you could see just how different they are. And then if you go further to look at their website, look at their social media, look at the marketing that they're putting out there, extremely different, even though they sell the exact same thing, candles. So your branding really sets you apart and defines you with what you're doing within your industry, within your genre, within your area, and you have to figure out what represents you and where you are within your brand. But more on that to come because I love talking branding, and we do have some really cool videos on that coming up in the not too distant future. Because if I could talk about branding all day long, I would totally do that. Your best designed career has jumped in over on YouTube and left us a little love. She didn't know about mixing up our hashtags, but it's an awesome tip. And yes, it absolutely is. It's one of those things that's really going to set you apart on Instagram because Instagram's watching for people who are making good decisions and being interactive and being engaging on Instagram, and getting yourself in those hashtags and mixing them up and getting in different ones shows that you're really putting effort into researching what you are doing to make sure that you are out there and engaging and interacting with people. We did get a little more love on YouTube this week. I love getting all the love over on YouTube, guys. And Evan reached out to say great tips. I will definitely try this out myself. He was talking all about mixing up our list of hashtags so that we are appeasing what Instagram wants over within the algorithm system. And of course, if you're joining me live, I would love to hear from you. Give me a shout out and bring your friends to the party. We always love meeting new friends here. And if your friends have social media questions, if they're not sure on how to do something, they need a little bit of help going over certain areas, they want just one little tip to make their life easier, I'm here for you. I would love to get those questions answered for you and make sure that I am making your life easier, just like we did for Evan this week. Thanks, Evan, for hanging out. We appreciate all of you coming out to hang out over on our YouTube channel. We're almost done for today. We've got just a couple more minutes, and we do have one more question to answer. But if you want to come hang out, I would love for you guys to come on over to videos.kmrobinson.com. That'll kick you over to my YouTube channel where you can see all these videos that we've been talking about today. And of course, you can hang out at group.kmrobinson.com, which is my closed Facebook group where I'm in there every single week, answering your questions live in real time and helping you by giving you extras and bonuses and extra attention, all sorts of fun, fabulous things. So come join the exclusive group. It's business owners helping business owners to grow profitably through smart social media marketing. We would love to have you here. And of course, if you want help with your hashtags, you can come on over to hashtag.kmrobinson.com where I have my freebie, A Boss's Guide to Handling Hashtags. We were chatting all about that today because today's hashtag day. Apparently, we're hanging with all the hashtags today. And I would love to give you this free guide plus some bonus gifts. And that actually kind of slips into our next question. So if you have not gone to hashtag.kmrobinson.com, get it now because I got all the good stuff over there. And then bring your friends because we love hanging out with your friends and helping everybody to grow together. Rising tide raises all ships. And we want to make sure that you are growing in your business too. Now, Lynn reached out this weekend. She said, I have to ask this now. She posted this inside of our Facebook group earlier this week. I have to ask this now because I'm at work when you do the Q&A and I watch it that night. I'm a 40-ish book blogger. I read young adults and new adults. Should I be trying to follow and interact with teen bloggers or stick with bloggers my age? I'm reading some of the same books as these younger bloggers, but I don't want to appear creepy. Okay, girl, I got you on this one. I got you. So here's the deal. When it comes to figuring out your ideal client, you actually have to figure out who is your ideal client. Now, I know you are a book blogger and you don't necessarily consider yourself a business person, but you are. You're running a business. You're running a brand and you are out there interacting with people. You're reviewing books. You've got a blog, and I've actually seen Lynn's blog, so I know what I'm talking about here. And she does live broadcasting and all sorts of fun things. But the cool thing about the book world is that there are people from teenage years reading young adult and new adult novels all the way up to so as a best-selling fiction author, I write young adult novels like Hunger Games and Divergent. And my fans range from teenagers or even a little bit younger than teenagers all the way up to like 60, 70-year-olds. So I get the whole range from teenagers to stay-at-home moms to adults who are reading on their free time, after work and on the weekends, all the way up to the older generation who's retired and spends their time reading books. And so there's a whole wide range of people within the book world. Now, speaking specifically of the book world, I know how this works, but for those of you who are looking to hang out with people in your industry, in your genre, in your area, all you got to know is you need to make friends. Now, don't be creepy. Please don't be creepy. But specifically for you, Lynn, within the book world, you have that whole wide range, and books bring everybody together, or candles bring everybody together, or mermaid tales bring everybody together, or photography brings everybody together. We're all here. We're all learning. We're all growing. We're all creating community. So your goal here is not necessarily to make a bunch of teen friends or make a bunch of adult friends. It's to create community, however, wherever, and whenever you can. So I am going to say to you, Lynn, as you are doing your book blogging and your booktubing, for those of you outside of the industry, that's a blog about a book and YouTube channel about books. What I want you to do is not necessarily gear it toward one or the other. I want you to gear it toward book lovers. We're all here. We're all different ages. We're all different places in our life, and we all love young adult and new adult. Within these areas, we love young adult and new adult. You are in young adult and new adult, so you are finding fans who like young adult and new adult. If teenagers think that you are being creepy because you are a 40-something-year-old book blogger, they're not going to hang with you. That's okay. Let them go. But if you want to hang out with these younger kids, if they want to come hang out with you and talk about your love of books, by all means, talk about your love of books. My fans are from like 12 to 60 to 70 even. There's a whole range of them, and it doesn't matter to me. I have conversations with them. And even before I became an author, when I was doing my book blogging, I had friends who were teenagers. When I was a 20-something, 30-something-year-old, well, okay, I was in my 20s when I became an author. So when I was in my 20s, I had teenage friends because we had the same love of books. Now, you do have to keep some lines. When you're an adult and you're dealing with teenagers, keep lines, keep boundaries, because we have to be careful of that. But have a conversation. If you're out in public on social media, talk. If you are direct messaging teenagers, just be careful. Be mindful. If you can have a group chat, that's even better. But it doesn't matter if your friends within this industry are younger or are older, as long as you both love books, as long as you're loving on the books and you are keeping those lines drawn and you're being professional about this. Of course, that's my caveat there. But I don't think you need to necessarily just have grown-up friends. It's okay. If they want to hang out with you, they will. I wouldn't necessarily I got to get all the young ones because they're the ones that are reading. Just make friends. Just go out there and make friends. If you need friends in this industry, then I will bring you friends because I got them. But just be mindful that you guys have similar tastes, similar love of these particular type of books, and you will be good to go because it doesn't matter age. It's social media. Social media opens the doors and has erased so many of our walls, and it's allowed us to do all the fun things that we can't do on our own. So go make friends. Doesn't matter who they are. As long as they are 11 on the YA and the NA, the young adult and the new adult, go ahead and be friends. Keep those lines if they're kids. But otherwise, just have fun. Just enjoy it. You're not going to be creepy. Most people are not going to think you're creepy. And the other thing is that these teens do know that a lot of the people reading these books are older. They are my age. They are your age. They are older than us. Okay? So you are good to go with that. Just go and make friends. If they want to follow your YouTube channel, they will. And if they don't, they won't. If they want to follow your Instagram page, they will. And if they don't, they won't. It's okay. Just go and make friends and support people. Just because you support someone doesn't mean you have to be besties with them. It's all good. Just be supportive in the industry, and the more supportive you are, the more people you're going to be hanging out with. I should know. It's how I grew my following. Make friends, and then they support you, and they keep growing and growing and growing and growing as you go. So, Lynn, don't worry about it. As long as you're making friends, as long as you're being kind, as long as you are loving on the books and giving all the love and shout outs, you will be good to go, girl. All right. If you guys are loving on today's Ask Me Anything, I would love for you to let your friends know so they don't miss out on the fun. And of course, invite them every single Wednesday. We are here live on Facebook.com/KM Robinson Social, answering your social media marketing questions for about 20 minutes every single day. And giving all the love to the people hanging out with us here on our live broadcast or on the replay. If you're on the replay, I would love to get questions answered for you. So go ahead and drop your questions down below because I would love to get those answered for you. And if you are looking to run your own live broadcast talk show like this one, like the ones I do with my celebrity interviews, my author interviews, all those fun, fabulous things, you can go to talkshow.kmrobinson.com because I'm giving away free trainings for you guys for a limited time only, because I love educating you guys. And also, if you create a show, we can all be on your show and we can just go back and forth and help each other out and give each other a little more publicity to raise up whatever industry we happen to be in. So go ahead, check it out, talkshow.kmrobinson.com if you are interested in hanging out for that as well. Of course, you can come hang out at kmrobinson.com and at KMRobinson Social on the social media platforms. We are dropping a brand new video every single Tuesday and Friday on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single one of those videos. We're going live every single Wednesday here on Facebook.com/KMRobinson Social, and I'm dropping new videos every single time there's an algorithm change, a platform addition, or trends are changing in the social media world so that you can stay on top of your game and never, ever, ever, ever miss out on all the good stuff that you can be implementing into your business ASAP so that you are on top of your game and you beat out your competition. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'm Cam Robinson, social media marketing strategist. And thank you guys so much for all the love. This week we were featured on Business News Daily. We were on CBS News, all the fun, great things. And I loved your support over on both CBS News and on Business News Daily and some of the other places that we have appeared over the last week. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. I appreciate it. And if you want to chat with me about something, please let me know. I will happily come on your blog, your podcast, your live broadcast show, or your in-person events. So let's hang out. Thanks so much for joining me. I will see you again next Wednesday, Facebook.com/KMRobinsonSocial, every single Wednesday to get your questions answered, and hit up group.kmrobinson.com for priority question answering during these shows. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Until then, stay inspired.